that will happen, but yeah. And if you look here, what did I tell you guys about an SMT that's created, but it doesn't reverse? It's gonna be fake, right? So if you see there's an SMT here, doesn't matter though, because that asset didn't reverse, as you see. The one that puts in the strongest asset in the triad is actually consolidating after a true reversal up here, right? After expansion. So there's a true reversal here, we expand, consolidate, form an SMT, and then you get a strength switch for this asset to do it, catch up to this low, right? And clearly this is not reversal here, right? We expand. This is just consolidation, right? You're inside barring between this candle. I traded almost every single day here, almost every single one. I'll show you another example of that, where you have a reversal, kind of printed the same day. What day? I think I trade this day here. So why could we be bullish this day or anticipate a lackluster day, if anything? So if we check this day, we have a reversal. We have an expansion the previous week, so pretty large expansion week. If I go to the weekly time frame, right, into a low. So it's like when you expand into a low, what can you get? A new phase of price. What day is this here? It's Monday. So it's like, with that being said, you have expansion into a draw, and it's Monday. It's like, okay, you don't expect continuation. You more so either expect two things, either consolidation or to trade back into this range here. Does that make sense? Because even if we are going to continue from this bearish range, how do you want the weekly candle to behave? Ideally, open high first, print some sort of reversal, and then expand lower. So there's a ton of logic to frame this trade back in the range now. Look at this wick size. It's very large, right? So that is kind of supporting a reversal day. And there's only one way we trade reversal days. It has to open low. If it opens high and then low, that's a negative condition to trade a reversal day back to the current high of day. If you look how this candle forms, this is in my course, by the way. Check this out. The high of day, or the high of week at this point, is 1800. This is not going to be the high of the week or the high of day, generally. So when you just leave an unestablished high of the day and prices opening low first, I want to trade back to this high here as my target. Okay. So the way this candle is forming really supports our idea, and that's important. So if you check here, prior to this driver, for example, again, this is our draw on liquidity. Prior to this driver, we take out this short-term low. We have a CSD. Okay, so this could be a assumed low of day. What are some things we filter price with? Well, I want to be trading within a expansion candle here, specifically on a day like this, because we're literally framing the low of the day when we're clearly bearish. So it's like you need to be trading expansion candle. You need that extra confirmation, that closure, and ideally the driver to do what? It should expand away from this low. You know what I'm saying? So it would be ideal if the driver expands away and then 10 a.m. opens like right here, and then you can trade 10 a.m. continuation to this high. But what do we do? The driver clearly does not reverse from whatever hourly fair value gap that is, etc. So as you see, the driver opens up right here. So what do you want it to do? Is like I said, you want to expand away from this, right? But what does it do? It clearly doesn't do that. So it's like, where is the only level price can reverse from at this point? If you want to pair a reversal with the driver, it's this hourly low. It's just like that example I just showed you. Like this is this is your invalidation point. So you're always, if there's no high and low of day prior to driver, there's always, every single time, there is a invalidation point where price can go manipulate, because that means that we haven't really expanded away from the high and low of day. So we're just consolidating. Those consolidation external highs and lows, etc., are like reversal points that price can go and trade into and manipulate. That's what you see here, is that we get that manipulation. So if I show you like the 15-minute chart, oh, it's like glitching. Okay, whatever. I don't know why it's doing that. Here's 9:30. We trade into this low and then trade away. If I show you the reversal signature, it's expansion, math expansion, right? If I go to the 4-hour chart, right? This is why we want to wait for 10 a.m. so we can trade the expansion into this high. Does that make sense? So what we're doing here is pairing a reversal with the driver, just like that other example. So yeah, you just set if-then scenarios, like if this is going to be a low day that we just saw right here, then the driver should expand away. And it would expand away if this was a low day, you know? So like pairing drivers and SMT, there's also a form of SMT down here as well. It's very important to my trading, how I confirm things. One of the more consistent things you're going to see in the market, deadass. Friday this week. I already went over Friday. Plenty of logic there. No NQ, no NQ trade, you think? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Pan day trading realtor. To trade the asset on the left since it's overall weaker. Needs to catch up to a stronger asset. Like I said, it depends. So when you see a strength switch, they're both going to expand. It depends if this asset here is really close to its draw on liquidity, where this one's like super far away. I would still trade this one. It gets a bit nuanced, but generally you can trade both of them. These guys trading. What? I'm better than you at Clash Royale. No, you're not. Can you explain why this didn't play out? All the previous hour was bearish and blah. Wait. Wait, you're saying this is bearish? Why is this not bearish? Oh yeah, this is you can't trade this, bro. It's because you're missing the. So again, if you want to trade a continuation, guys, you don't trade after you see this. The daily range already exhausted. It's already printed its daily range. So you trying to trade this lower, right? It's very low probability. There's actually a two-stage SMT down here to cap the weekly range off, right? So this weekly range, it's like a TJF basically. There's actually two-stage SMT, so there's logic to trade back into this range. When would you look to trade back into the range? A new 4-hour candle, because this one clearly doesn't support expansion, this one. So you would trade this candle here, which is what I did. All right. Split horizontally. Oh, yeah, like this. I don't know. I just hate it, bro. I'm like really far back. What time is there now? Holy fuck! I'm 30 minutes behind in messages, bro. We ain't. Fuck that. I gotta catch up, dude. Smallest time frame for you to look for SMT. It's any. So like when I refer to SMTs and stuff like that, you want to be framing from like 1 hour, 4-hour levels or something, because those levels are what's gonna expand the daily candles. So I'm not just looking for like SMT from the 5 minute to create the low there or something. So you want to see SMT there, but in the distribution leg away from that, where maybe you get a true reversal, right, and we create a fair value gap. Like when price creates this, trades into this fair value gap, then I could use the 5-minute. You know what I'm saying? SMT in there or something. But it's all time frames. Can I do live trade? Like in what? The lens? Here? Versus strength? I'm dead. Oh, I should do it on YouTube for sure. No, I'll do it on YouTube. If I ever was gonna do that, I would do it on YouTube. Bro, that guy, I have that guy in payroll. Yeah, I need to start posting on YouTube and stuff more. I was gonna do a weekly trade recap. How do you think the conditions are now? I'm not gonna say they're easy for sure. They're not easy, but uh, I'm just I don't know. If you look at the high time frame, it's definitely like pretty ugly for sure. But a lot of people are thriving where like let's say scalpers or something, where like they just need a small range. So like I'm not a scalper, but I'm also I don't explain my trading style. It's like intraday basically. Like I'm just trying to like this day for example, bro. I'm just trading from here to here, so I don't care what market condition is. It doesn't matter. That's why I love my trading style because I don't need the higher time frame to be like perfect, etc. Uh, literally any day, every single day, there is a some sort of reversal point in draw liquidity. When you actually require two-stage SMT, like more confirmation, you can trade any day. I'm not even joking. Whereas if you're someone that requires more higher time frame and less confirmation, well then you're gonna get less opportunities. That's fine. That's literally fine. There's a give and take, right? Whereas I don't require a higher time frame framework, but I require way more confirmation. So there's a trade-off there, you know? Oh, that's PM. I don't even trade PM, I'm not gonna lie. I don't trade PM. I think I'd rather trade like pre-New York than PM. That's me personally. Not the biggest fan of PM. Tier T is Enigma. Can I share the slides? Maybe. Oh, I trade London? Yeah, I barely trade London, bro. I should have streamed the lens how to trade London. But I traded London once this week. That was just because I was up. Like, that's the only reason. And I feel like, for me at least, I have to have like very specific framework for London. Because you have to anticipate that being the low of day to trade it, essentially. So it's almost like I do need that higher time framework to trade a London reversal. That's why I traded it on gold on Tuesday. It was a really clean framework. Do you have flowchart? No, but I'm creating more slides for SMT. But there is a flowchart in my head, but not like written down, I guess. Like I don't have it like I don't even have it written down for myself, you know. It's just like muscle memory. But there's like I don't know. It's not like like I said, it's very specific for when and where you use like different types of SMT and all this stuff. Neuralink, that's crazy. Crazy. Apart from posting wiki recaps, what other do you plan on posting? I don't know, man. I was gonna do like these like boot camps that people do. I was gonna do one of those. Be on some TGR shit. It would be goaded. Is it gonna be? Yeah, it's gonna be for free. It's gonna be the best free boot camp you ever seen. I like dodgy. Yeah, like dodgy. Dodgy the goat. Do you journal every day? Dude, I'm not gonna cap. No, I don't journal anymore. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I don't. But I obviously have to review my trades to everyone, and I post my trades. So like, I guess I don't post all my trades, but I guess my Instagram or whatnot is like a public journal, damn near, you know. But I'm always reviewing PA and stuff, so that's how I stay sharp. I think honestly, teaching makes you a better trader in some ways because you're constantly teaching the same thing over and over and over. So it's like I don't know. I don't really need to journal. At this point, it's like there's not much for me to learn. It gets to a point where like you don't really need to learn too much. Obviously, I'm gonna make mistakes here and there, Like obviously, but I don't know. I mainly just don't have time for that shit, dude. I'm not good at Notion either. I've never been good at Notion. Never been good at any of that type of stuff, bro. I'm so bad when it comes to like, I don't even know how to work Discord, basically, dude. I'm a unk for real. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like, dude, I don't even know how I would journal, bro. I'm not gonna lie, because every day is so fucking different. Like, would I even like? I don't know, dude. It's not like it's not like internal to external, and like, I don't know. It's not like some basic shit. I don't know. I don't even know how the fuck I would do it, man. I'm not gonna lie. Never journaled for 1.5 years. I've never really got into psychology either. I feel like that's something that's like really I don't know, dude. Probably gonna be an unpopular opinion. Like people blame their psychology on a loss, but they don't know why they lost. So it's like, what help? I don't know. It doesn't really do anything. You're just gonna be making the same mistakes, but you blame it on psychology. Now, if you do some dumb shit, if you don't follow your rules, yeah, that's psychology. But just be a fucking man, dude. It's like, I don't know. You just gotta respect yourself a little bit. To follow your own rules, dude. I don't know why it's so hard. Like, obviously, yeah, I fuck up. I'm not saying that, bro. Like, I do it. But then I just called myself a bitch. I'm like, stop being a retard, you know? GXT. Oh my god, you're fucking grinding. Go. Yeah. I think if you have I guess if you know what you're looking for on the charts, psychology is way easier. You know what I'm saying? Because then you know what rules to follow, you know, like, etc. But if you are really lacking with understanding like the technical side of trading, dude, psychology is not gonna save you, bro. Like you're gonna be disciplined, but you're still gonna take 20 losses in a row. You're gonna be following a strategy that's shit though. So it's like you need to ideally figure out. I don't know, dude. You just need to get better. I'm not gonna lie. Like first, you need to study trading first, and then it's like follow that system. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not really good at that psychology shit, man. Maybe I'm just fucking yapping, dude. AM is your guy for that, not me. Yeah, like risk management. Yeah, that's really what psychology is, right? You like not over trading, not exposing your risk, etc. Not over leveraging. You know, I did not take the long on Friday. There's a couple of reasons why. For one, I was not viewing this. I was looking at this contract, bro. Look at this shit. This contract does not take out this low. You see that? Um, if I go to this contract, we do. So Freg actually told me this. I was like, what the fuck? Freg was like, the other contract did. I was like, what? Um, there's two reasons why I wouldn't probably take this. Yeah, we have a two-stage SMT. We do have that two-stage SMT here. But if I go to the way the candle profile forms, this is a couple ways I filter price. Here's the daily open right here. I don't like how it opened high first, took out this high, formed the SMT here. Now this SMT is not so relevant when we actually trade into something, because that's when SMTs can break. It's like it did its job. It basically put in a reversal to trade it into or expand it to a level. That expansion just led to a reversal confirmed by a two-stage SMT. So this is not really the SMT that threw me off or anything. It's more of like the way the candle forms. Like I said, I don't want it to open high and then open low and then open high. That's why you kind of see like these assets don't really expand. Like you see that? They're gonna have trouble doing that. Um, that's just one of the ways that I filter price. And you look at the 4-hour candle that we were trading in. It also doesn't support expansion either. So it's really not something I would ever trade. But you can see, there is a two-stage SMT here. There's a SMT here. There's a two-stage SMT here. So every single reversal point from here to here to here, there's an SMT. So what does that tell you? You need to start requiring SMT. I don't know how people don't trade with SMT. I might be like unprofitable without it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just kidding, but I would obviously, I don't know. It's just like, it's so good. Like you gotta require that shit. Yeah, Kiko is a good psychology guy. Yeah, and he's hot. Sure. Yeah, dude. I don't know what the fuck that was. I wouldn't even trade it anyways, but it's just kind of annoying how like the contracts are different. It's just still like pissed me off. Yeah, it got taken out. When do you enter fair value gap? Okay, so this one here. I'm entering this one. What day was this, by the way? Fuck. Let's try to review this here. So that was on CL, but I don't fucking remember what day. Was that this week? Oh man, I don't know where that is, bro. It's a long. I feel like it's right here for some reason. RB? No, it's not. What day is that, man? 15 minutes. I want to smoke. Oh, no, no, no. And I need is that even this week? I'd be forgetting, bro. Uh, oh, it's right here, yeah? Holy shit, dude. Alright. It's right here, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's gotta be right here, right? Yeah. So let's go for why I took this. Fuck if I remember, dude. Alright, let's get Bitcoin the fuck out of here. Alright. Some people are going to see why, but okay. So there's clearly there's a form of 2 MT on the daily chart here. But let's put it simply. There's this. Right. Uh, silver switch to the stronger asset to do what? To catch up to this SMT. So if I'll show you intraday. This is why I was long this day. Right. You see it's kind of sluggish. Why is it kind of sluggish or like consolidating or like seek and destroy? Right. While this asset is more so expanding. You see that? It's so it can catch up. You know. So that's a lagging asset. If I even go on the weakest asset in the triad, which I use XAU Euro, literally the weakest asset is putting in a continuation signature because after expansion, whatever you're doing, we're consolidating, right? Which is obviously not a reversal signature. So if the weakest asset is not showing any willingness to trade lower, then that means that the strongest assets are obviously more likely to expand, right? That's why I traded this SMT. There's a 2-stage SMT at the lows, and I tried to trade this on gold in here to get to here. You see this bearish candle? I went break even somewhere in here, and it stopped me out, and then it went to my TP, which is not the most high probable day for sure, for a couple of reasons. If I mark out the daily open here, we kind of already expanded. This range was kind of already expanded, but we were still like super close to this high. Like at the time of my entry, we still didn't take out this high, though. But even on the stronger asset, we're kind of consolidating. So it wasn't the cleanest market profile, but that tells you we're going to get here probably the same day because of the S&P at the lows and how close we were over here. So yeah, that I traded this here. But what about this? What about when we take out this high here? What are we creating? So 7th of May. 7th of May. Okay. So you have an S&T. So if this is a true reversal, right, then what do I want silver to do since it's the stronger asset? Or even a retracement. So any retracement or reversal, you're going to have some sort of 2-stage SMT, okay? So if I want a reaction here to trade back into this range and then potentially here or something, I need this asset to do what? Switch strength, right, momentarily to be the trigger for all markets to trade back into the range. So that's what you're going to see. You see this expansion. See how we fill in this gap? Go over here. We barely fill in that gap. So that's a form of strength switching, right? There's a 2-stage SMT here at these highs. So I'll just show you. So that was one form of SMT right here, right? This is one form. Now let's look at the second one. Look at the high day. It's midnight. Over here, 2200. But what is this is a double sweep, by the way. So this is not the ideal scenario for an SMT, where you have your first stage crack and a second stage crack, but it's a double sweep. So there's technically no strength switch. So what do you need to happen for this two-stage SMT to occur and actually reverse? You need strength switch. So yeah, just wait till NQ shows some sort of strength and weakness over here. So you can see that. I'm not going to go too into detail because I haven't taught this stuff, but look here. In this distribution leg lower, we have two bullish candles, right? Over here, we have none. So that's a form of strength switching, right? This one's switching weaker. That's why I had this larger expansion. You see that? Now, what about if this is going to be a true reversal at these highs, right? Then I want this asset to actually continue lower and be stronger, right? Or weaker, sorry. But what do we see in this gap? So if this is gonna be a higher time retracement, then what's the perfect area for us to continue higher? Well, it's obviously like a form of strength switching in this gap or a two-stage SMT. So this asset was obviously stronger, remember, or sorry, weaker. Just intraday though. So here you have an SMT, the previous is low on euro, right? But over here, you get this two-stage SMT. So this happens late in the day, and so some people are trying to long this, but you can't do that. You have to understand targets for this type of day, because what does the candle do? It opens high first, and it has a large expansion. So there's two negative conditions for longing right here, because the daily opens high first. You want it to open low first if you're bullish. It also has a very large opposing run from the open, which doesn't support expansion. So there's a double negative condition. So what can you potentially do? You can trade like EQ of the daily range, which is still low probability, but with a two-stage SMT, it's a little bit higher probability. Which there's a two-stage SMT right here, by the way, to get to this here. But what you see here is we put in this reversal, and you want it to hold. You already have a two-stage SMT in the gap, so it's like we know that this day is not going to expand away from it because of the way the candle forms. So you want the next day to hold this two-stage SMT. So you want this low to hold right here, and this low to hold right here on gold. Now, what do we see though? Remember, because switch in strength is going to change day to day. It's a specific sequence and stuff like that. So in this case, y'all remember on the higher time frame, this was the weaker asset, obviously, right? But it momentarily switched to stronger assets, so we could both assets could retrace into this gap. But once we reach this gap, now we see the next day we switching stronger when it should be weaker, right? This asset should be weaker because obviously it has this form of we have the SMT to the highs, but why is it switching to a stronger asset this day to catch up to this high, which this asset already took out? Does that make sense? Another way we can already assume that this is retracement here, because we clearly don't manipulate this high. We trade quite a bit past it, right? That's not manipulation. We're also leaving these highs, you know? So yeah, that's just a little bit about that, which I didn't find much opportunities to trade gold this day. I know Nico did. I think Nico did. As you see around here, we're super high in the range, which I don't like to trade super high in the range. But you're going to see, I traded this on silver on Friday. There's this SMT here, right? And there's a two-stage SMT down here. So I traded this asset here, right? And you know it's going to be a little bit weaker because you can see intraday. But we know it's going to be weaker because of the strength switch, right? Like it's obviously stronger, but it's momentarily weaker. So these assets can catch up. Does that make sense? So it's a bit nuanced, for sure. But yeah, it's very, very good. How often do you use higher time for SMTs? I use them every day. I look for them, or every week. Every week close, every daily close. Do I need them necessarily? No. I'll say when you have for example, we have like clean one-sided narrative on the higher time frame. For example, I'll actually pull up something real quick on indices that happened a couple weeks ago. Like this was like the cleanest PA we've gotten in a while. These 2 weeks in particular, very easy to frame this long and this long, right? Because again, the same way we use daily candle profiles on obviously daily, we can use it on the weekly. So just like AM trades, I like to use relevant swing highs and lows as reversal points. So you see, this is a relevant low because there's nothing in close proximity to these lows. These are all failure swings to this external low. So if the weekly candle opens low, the open is right here. It opens low first into this low, and then prints some reversal signature. Then that is a clear one-sided narrative where we have a daily model supported by a weekly higher time frame candle. So it can distribute away from that. Does that make sense? So within here, away from the higher time frame reversal, you don't need as much confirmation. Does that make sense? You don't need 2 SMTs. You don't need all that stuff necessarily. This is when I can really refer to drivers because the drivers should expand away from, if we're in a daily expansion, right, they should just expand away, right? So in this case, I traded 2 trades this day. One was on like Apex, one was on NQ. But here we have a relevant low intraday. So if you go to the daily chart, a lot of people will wait for a candle 2 closure, but that's absolutely irrelevant. Like, I'm not even joking. If you look here, like, you don't have a candle 2 closure, that doesn't matter at all because the only reason why it's not a candle 2 closure, like the only reason why, is because we hit this low on ES, for example, because at one point there's an SMT because 10 o'clock hits this low. So pretty early on in the day, but we hit this low over here, like at like what, 1300, right? We hit to like 1300, so it doesn't have enough time to create a candle 2 closure. Look how far the open is. So that's absolutely relevant. So this is one thing I have repeated a couple times. When the previous day hits a key level to reverse from, but doesn't expand away, it doesn't have like some sort of reversal already, which we do inside of the wick. We technically do. But just a rule of thumb, if we hit a key level and we don't form a candle 2 closure or something, we don't expand away from it, the next day should expand early on in the day. So if you look here, we have the reversal, and we clearly haven't really expanded away from that. So early on in the day, this is when you can start to anticipate a Asia or London low of day, and this is where you can feel comfortable trading away from an Asia or a London low of day, right? Because after manipulation, we should just expand. So if you're not going to reverse off this previous low, then what needs to hold? It's like this fair value gap is the only level to really form the low of day. If you check here, boom, we hit that. So if this is going to be the low of day, 1800, then this fair value gap has to hold, obviously. All right, now we're just repeating the cycle, right? And these are relevant lows printing intraday. So here's a low of day. You see the space between these lows? These are relevant lows, right? Now, if this relevant low is not going to, get traded back to, then this fair value gap has to hold, right? If this fair value gap, if this swing point is not going to reverse from this fair value gap, what are we creating in this fair value gap? We're creating a relevant swing, right? Look at the space between these lows. These are not failure swings. So ideally, you manipulate this low to create that protected swing. So we get that. This is something I teach in the lens. We can mechanically define every part of a daily range. So here you have a protected swing within the current daily candle. So here's the high of day, or the current high of day. Here's the current low of day. Within the expansion, right, and the retracement within that internal, you have an internal protected swing, right? So if you create this prior to the driver, then some area to trade away from. So here's 8 o'clock. What should 9 o'clock do? It should expand away, right? Especially because we haven't hit our draw on liquidity, which is the previous day's high. So here's the previous day's low, here's the previous day's high. If you manipulated, you're not going to return to the previous day's low, then likely where are we going to go? The previous day's high, right? Especially when you're this high in the range already, when there's a driver, The driver doesn't have to go like too far, you know what I'm saying? Whereas like if we were all the way down here and the driver open, like that's really far away, you know? But we've already manipulated prior to driver, so there's only one thing to do, right? And that's expand, you know? So that's why I traded here. If you go over here, you can even, especially on NQ, it's a bit cleaner. That's why I traded here. What do we want the driver to do? Expand away from this manipulation, right? So here's 930. Makes an opposing run to the draw, which is higher, and then has that closure. This is like textbook right here. If I go to the 4-hour candle, does it support expansion? Yes. Does the daily support expansion? Yes. Right, easy as, right? Does the 1-hour support expansion? Yes. Does the candle 4 expansion? So this is like a pretty textbook day. And if you look at the reversal signature, like I said, one reversal signature is a candle 2 closure, obviously. But if you don't have that, then you just need a reversal signature, which is expansion met with expansion. How do we know this is expansion? We're seeing order flow hold. We're seeing shallow retracements. We're seeing lows being rejected, highs being displaced through. Those are expansion signatures. But yeah, you can even say the same thing like, what's a day? I think there was one. What's a day that I was trying to refer to? Like this day is a good example of price manipulates late in the day. Like 1300, right? There's not enough time in the day to form a reversal candle. So this is when you can expect a Asia low of day. It should just expand, right? So here's 1800 low of day. You can feel comfortable trading away from that. Now I traded this day, and I didn't really feel comfortable trading away from this low necessarily though. Because if I play price a little bit, you see these equal lows down here? These like, it's not very, like we don't really displace this high. I'm kind of viewing this as consolidation as you see. Very lackluster. So it's like, we can come create a new low of day, which is down here. But what really needs to be manipulated? It's what's above the daily open. So I don't need price to come create a new low of day. I would ideally want to see this, right? I want these to be manipulated to create a what? A protected swing above the daily open. So as long as you have some protected level to trade it from above the daily open, that's fine. This is where you see YM trading to these lows and print a 2-stage SMT at a driver. So remember what we talked about earlier? If you don't have a established low of the day or anything to trade away from prior to the driver, I want the driver to go create that manipulation. That's what you go see here. So you can pair a manipulation with the driver, right? I'm telling you, when you learn the framework, it becomes very easy to pair drivers with your trading. It's extremely consistent. It's crazy, bro. It could be a course in itself, but you know, I'm not like a piece of shit. I'll just share it for free. These puppies, brother. This is so funny. Like oil, took range high, next strong range low. How do you approach early market closures? What the hell is that? I don't know what that is, I don't think. He was bad, just got lucky. For real. Yeah, I don't think I was on the charts for gold. I just traded YM, or sorry, silver. Because if I go to silver that day, which I think was Friday, it's like I knew that we could at least get to here, and then potentially here, but this was kind of an outlandish draw. So it's like I just have to close my trade before, you know, like 1600 around there. So that was my trade really, to get to, you know, ideally to this high, but specifically at least this high. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to be trading. I'm stupid. Yeah, I don't trade those days. Will not be trading Monday. What's a driver? A driver is just like uh, red folder news or specifically 9:30 every single day. So think of it like a volatility injection. 9:30 is equities open. Do you have plans about trading a lab account? Oh yeah, I'm gonna trade a lab account one day, but right now I'm just using props. Can you do some sort of challenge? I mean, all right, Would you just wait for 10 a.m. rather than messing about? So if you're a new trader, if you don't have experience with drivers, I would just wait for 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is like the easiest candle to trade, bro. Because if you think about it, it's always continuation usually. There's very specific times when you want to see a 10 o'clock reversal, but I would ideally not want to see a 10 o'clock reversal because that would just mean that the drivers prior to that, so like 8:30 red folder or like 9:30, they fail to reverse the day. So that's not ideal, you know. I want to see a 6 o'clock reversal to trade the 10 a.m. continuation. But there's a specific way where you can trade 10 o'clock reversal. That's when the driver is expanding towards drawn liquidity, but maybe it hits the drawn liquidity like late in that 6 a.m. candle. Then 10 a.m. just opens up and reverses. So it's like specific. Like documenting eval to payout. I already did that with like the fractal model. I was like doing some uh, promotion for the fractal model, but I haven't really done it with GXT or anything like that. I didn't record it though. It was literally just like I passed the top sub account 2 days, and then 5 days later I got a payout. That was it. But there's just there's no reason for me to do a challenge, bro. I don't I don't see why. There's reasons why. I'm not gonna get into it, dude. Long-term trading goals. I don't know, man. Probably to. This is what I want to do. Is one day get away from props because they're obviously annoying. So obviously you want to trade a live account, have some fat ass live account, just trade that. But as far as like, are you asking like trading or stuff outside of trading as well? Because those are like a byproduct of trading. When it gets like real estate, when you're gonna create your own community, I was gonna get into that just like now. If I was to create my own community, it wouldn't be a large community. I wouldn't do a large community. Not my thing, bro. I would rather do a very small community so I can focus on like, I'm talking like really small, like max 50 people or something like that. 30 people. That's what I would do. Would not. I don't like these large communities. Deep jerk. Yeah, TWX, you're in there for free, dude. Nah, but I don't know. I'm in the lens right now, bro. Obviously, I'm not gonna be in lens forever though. That just can't happen. Why would I be in the lens forever? I don't even know his surname. This guy. I can't, dude. Like, it doesn't make sense, dude. Biggest payout. A lot. Let's say that. There's other reasons why I don't share payouts. There's another reason. It all has to do. I can't say it. I can't, bro. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to go there, bro. Let's just say, if I had my own community, I would be sharing all that. We'll just say that. Where'd you learn most from? I learned a lot of the basic things from like T trades, AM trades. I even learned some things from fees, the MXM trader. My trading really took off when I really just studied on my own, right? I made those concepts my own. So like you see the 4 hour like profile on the 4 hour chart, aligning expansion candles. That was something that I kind of started. And then my friend taught me about SMTs and stuff like that, uh, as well as drivers. I don't know where the fuck I learned that from. It's such a blur, man. Like, don't know if I got that from somewhere or what, man. But that's something that's extremely consistent in my trading. But yeah, my friend taught me about this SMT stuff, and then I also some of that stuff like strength switching you don't really find anywhere else either. So it's like you kind of learn from people and then you make it your own and discover things and whatnot. But is he's just a really good teacher and whatnot. I fuck with that guy, bro. Really good mentor. But yeah, and then uh I stumbled across like T trades videos, which is crazy. I started using them. And then I joined here. And then I saw Kiko. Dude, when I saw Kiko, bro, I thought this guy was like fucking a millionaire, dude. No bullshit. Dude, I thought this guy was like a fucking demon. I was like, dude, how does this guy know all this stuff? It was funny. I used to ask him questions every day. Yeah, it's valid as fuck, dude. Kiko's trust fund kid, dude. Is Kiko in here? I don't know if he is. He might have just dipped. But yeah, I thought bro was like a millionaire, not gonna lie. Pretty funny. But I would believe anyone was like a millionaire. I was watching like a new YouTuber every day trying to learn strategy hop. Nah, hooked, man. Who the lens taught you the most? Probably T. I don't really trade like them exactly much anymore. At least like I trade way different than AM and T. Like y'all gotta understand, like, a lot different. I use the fractal model, but that's like an entry model, you know. That has nothing to do with how I'm framing trades or stuff like that. Like the way I frame trades and whatnot, a lot different from T and AM. Well, not necessarily. I don't know. Like I still use relevant swings. I still use daily closure. I'm using all that, obviously, but uh, yeah. Like they don't use SMT the way I do. They basically they like to trade the higher time frame. Like they have to wait for really clean market conditions. Like some weeks they won't take a single trade. That's their their approach and whatnot. or like I don't really require that, but I require way more like intraday framework. Like my understanding of the intraday framework is a lot more deep, I would say. But it's because it has to be that way. Because if I want to trade every day, you have to have a level of a deeper understanding of filtering price. Does that make sense? So it's a lot different. Like I'm still using opposing candles for entry. The entry is the same, uh, you know. I'm already starting to teach you guys that. So I taught you guys the SMT stuff, right? That's a very big part of it. Now, I haven't taught everything, but I've taught how I use drivers. So like this week, for like AM and T are not, they don't use this kind of stuff, but I have to require it because I'm literally trading every day here. So that's like a big part of my confirmation. You don't have to join the lens, bro. Like, if you just look at my last few YouTube videos, like, bro, it's very, you don't have to pay for that shit. Yeah, like, I literally post like a lot of free stuff. And so does T, dude. Like, T posts a lot of free stuff. You don't have to learn, you don't have to join the market lens, bro, to learn necessarily. Happy trader. There's also just a lot of leakers, dude. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of leakers, dude. You can find your way around, dude. I could care less if you join the market lens, bro. I'm not gonna sell you something, bro. I don't care. Uh, Wait, Happy Trader leaked my shit? I know he leaked the fractal model, but not my model, I thought. Am I cooked too? Dude, I don't even care. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I do not give a shit. There's so many people that use my model. Like, I could just pull up so many Twitter accounts that have like a decent amount of following. They copy everything, bro. They copy the way I use Figma. They copy everything, dude. So funny. Yeah, I know Blue Trades did. That guy on YouTube, Blue Trades, leaks shit. Dala? Yeah, Blue Trades low-key goated. Yeah, I don't really care though. Because they don't know the... This is why I was gonna gatekeep the SMT stuff. But I am already, I'm not showing all of it. That's the exact fucking reason, not gonna lie. That's one of the reasons. Like I don't need to start a mentorship. I don't need to do these things to make money. It's like, but these guys, they literally live off of like fucking leeching and stealing stuff. So like all these guys have stuff in there. They all have links in their bios. It's funny. They wouldn't survive without um stealing other people's shit. It's sad. It takes you to yeah. Dude, Telegram is like for scammers, bro. I stay away from Telegram as much as possible. ICT's on it. I don't even know how to work Telegram. I don't like the way Telegram is like laid out. It's fucking ugly to me. And like WhatsApp too. It reminds me of the army, because that's what the shit we used. It literally gives me like PTSD. I'm like, fuck that, dude. Like we use WhatsApp and Telegram. Ugh, bro. Get me away from that. MREs, dude. So shit. You know what's actually not bad though? The Mexican chicken stew. That shit's fire, dude. But there's some gross ones, for sure. Garrett's new course. Yeah, probably. No, I didn't get deployed. I was in so I had a combat MOS because I was a field artillery, but where I was stationed, we don't really deploy. I was stationed in Hawaii. You can go on rotation, but you can't deploy. Yeah, I was literally on vacation, not gonna lie. Hawaii's nice, bro. That's when I was trading supply and demand. I was absolutely cooked. So like I would get home from work and like try to study and stuff for like 4 years. Not 4 years, probably like 3 years. And then I got out of the army and I was still unprofitable, but I wanted to be a trader. I was like, fuck, dude, I'm like cooked, man. I didn't have a lot of money saved, but I was like, I'm gonna make this work somehow, bro. What the fuck was that, dude? That was my puppy upstairs. M4. I'm gonna use AKs. They use M16s like back in the day. No, they're puppies upstairs. There's two of them. They just fucking play. One of them is a yapper, dude. Like that one's gonna be a barker. What would be your daily bias if you trade in the 1 minute? Fuck, dude. 1 minute. My suggestion is to delete the 1 minute. But I think that's the fastest way to profitability. Delete the 1 minute. It's like a period, yeah. But if you're using the 1 minute and you're going for like low RR, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know if you need a daily bias, bro. Do you even need a daily bias? If you trade the 1 minute? I mean, like you could. It would be way better if you did. If I tried the 1 minute, I would still do the same things. But like, if you're taking these like short-term draw liquidities, like you don't necessarily need a daily bias. You definitely don't need a weekly bias or anything like that. I love you too, bro. Yeah, bro. Even with daily bias, yeah, exactly. 1 minute is like just not it, bro. 1 hour, 15 minute, 1 minute. There's actually a way you can do GXT on the 1 hour, 15 minute. I'll show you. So like, let's go to like the 1 hour time frame or something. So for example, let's look here for example. Yeah, so do you see how the low of this 1 hour candle is formed from a 15-minute fractal model, for example? Trade this one higher. That's just like one example. It's the same way I use the 4 hour and the 1 hour and the 30 minute. It's the exact same way. I'll just start looking at freaking examples here. That one doesn't look like the best. This one looks decent. There's an SMT there. Is this reversal into expansion candle? This formed from a fractal model, right? Get candle 3 closure, trade candle 4. What about the low? No, that's not a good example. Yeah, the low of this hourly expansion candle, for example. This expansion candle here formed from a 15-minute fractal model. You could do the same shit. Like I could definitely trade the 1 minute, but it's like you don't need to. You know, I would just be looking, dude. I would be looking at all time frames if I trade the 1 minute, because then I would have to look at the 15 minute and the 1 minute, which I rarely even look at the 15 minute. So I'd be adding 2 time frames when I'm already looking at like, I'm like literally looking at like almost 9 markets technically, because you have a triad in each correlated market, and then I'm obviously looking at a lot of other different time frames. So it just becomes like too much, bro. It's like, and if I was to trade the 1 minute, you only need one market because if you trade the 1 minute, you're gonna have more opportunities. So I don't need to trade. You would need to stick to like one asset basically. And you also need to know when, you need to know exactly when and where you want to enter, because it's a huge problem if you're trading 1 minute, because the 1 minute gives you more opportunities, which gives you more opportunities to lose. So you need to like even have a more You need to know when and where you need to enter. You need to be like more selective, you know? Or you just need to like lower your RR. You just go break even quicker. Like if you look at Dodgy, bro, this guy, dude, where do I even fucking start? Like he's trading the 1 minute, right, inverse for value gap from anywhere and everywhere, and he's going instant break even because of that. It's like there's no logic behind his trades. I'm not gonna lie. There's no logic behind it really. Um, there might be like some like slight logic where like, oh my god, we're sweeping an hourly low or some bullshit. But it's like he's entering everywhere. So it's like you need to adjust your risk management system to that. You have to, because if he didn't go break even early like that, he would be unprofitable. I guarantee it. I fucking guarantee he would. His like rules save him, you know. But that's fine, you know. That's his way of trading. He bought a Lambo with trading 1 minute fair value gaps, bro. Uh, you can do it for GG. I'm dead. He makes a lot of dude. This guy makes a lot of money from a Discord. Like I'm almost like jealous. 30K, that's like low balled as fuck. Like way more than that, bro. Way more than that. Yeah, like times 10. Yeah, like it's crazy, dude. It's actually insane. That's why he's getting hate right now, honestly. Now he's creating an indicator, but I just kind of joke around. I don't actually like hate him, but I don't hate anyone except Trade Bully. Justin Werlin created a signal group on WAP. Holy fuck, dude. These sellouts, man. God damn, man. That's crazy. I trade 15-second with 5-minute low being created. And that's the fractal model, basically. Indicator settings. For which indicator? I use a couple. Here's the higher time frame separators. This can change from time to time, but this is just a number of candles, so it's not really relevant too much. The padding is 10. That's just how far away you want this indicator to show. So like the candles, if I put it to like 20, the candles would be like over here or something. What else? Here's the time frame alignment though. This is the settings you need to use probably. For the fractal model at least. For ICT kill zones and pivots, this is simply just to show me the high and lows of sessions. So pretty standard stuff. Asia 20 to midnight. London 2 to 5. New York 8:30 to 11:30. That's generally my time window right there. I don't trade lunch really or PM. Yeah, I don't use anything else in here. So you should get this news indicator by 2 degrees. Pretty sick. That's all. That's all I use really. I still don't like those like Aiden like look. That shit bothers me because it like extends. I'm gonna show you if I have it here. For example, you see this how it's marking it from the previous day right here, but it's extending it into current price action. Like I fucking hate that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It's weird, bro. Like why does it do that? That shit bothers the fuck out of me. But I think I can just turn it. I can turn it off to where it's like only showing one day, the current day. So I could fix that, but I don't know. I don't like that shit. Yeah, I could cut it off actually. I don't really fuck with it though. Yeah, I could cut it off. No, I don't use macros. Big waste of time in my opinion. Just straight open high low close. Just wait for the opening, bro. Because um it's literally open high low close. I agree with T like 100% on that shit. Because like, why would you want to be trading? Why would you want to long? Let's say the current hourly candle that you're trading is right here. It's like, why would you want to long in this candle when the candle's range is already expanded? Like, so let's say it's like 1050 right now in the macro. Like, why would you want to long right here to try to get to somewhere like where you could easily just get stopped out, even in the same candle? Because again, if it's already expanded, it's not like to expand more, right? It'll wait for the next candles to open. So either it could literally stop you out in the same candle, or the next candles can open low and stop you out. So why not just wait for the next candles open, catch the wick, intra-candle chain state delivery, whatever the hell, and then trade that expansion, you know? I don't actually get it. I don't know. Not something I really ever bought into, but yeah, it works for some people, bro. It works for you, great. What's up, Kevin? What-do? What-do? Bro, you can also create a 500-month signal group. Yeah, I'd rather kill myself and get 2. Yeah, but that's like, there's a reason why I don't have my own mentorship, bro. It's like, I enjoy teaching. You guys, I don't make a lot of money from the lens, guys. I could easily leave, but I could easily start a mentorship and stuff, but I don't need to do that, you know? I'm kind of like T as well. It's like T makes a lot of money, but he doesn't spend it on like shit. He's very humble. He doesn't, you should see his car, bro. It's not like, it's crazy. I think I have a better car than him, but I don't have a crazy car either, you know? Like this guy is like super rich, but he doesn't spend his money. He doesn't need, you know, a lot of money and stuff like that. He doesn't need to flex or anything like that. I'm like the same way. I don't need a ton of money. I make enough, you know what I'm saying? I will never buy a Lambo, bro. I don't think. If you're a guru, like if you're a guru, it probably helps because uh, you can flex it and stuff. You can like get people in your Discord and whatever. You can market yourself. But dude, I don't do that stuff. So it would just be for me, you know. It would have to be a car that I would like myself or something. But I'm not really into cars, really. I'm not gonna lie. Kiko, you trying to get destroyed right now? Oh yeah, Kiko, I glazed you earlier. Um, remember when I first joined the Discord, Kiko, and you were like a helper in here? Dude, I glazed the fuck out of you. I used to ask him questions every day. Bro had me fooled though. Like we were both cooked. Like, in looking back at it, Kiko was just as cooked as me, because he was an ICT glazer. Bro had me fooled. Not gonna lie. I thought bro was a gazillionaire. Can you get profitable with A plus ICT setup by T trades? What the hell is that? What's an A plus ICT setup by T trades? How long did it take you to be instructed in Lens? Uh, I was doing stuff like this. Like I would do live streams like this in this Discord for free. And I was already profitable by then. But I was doing it for free, right? And he just said he just approached me and was like, "Hey, do you wanna be an instructor in Lens?" I was like, "Well, sure. I'm already fucking doing it basically, uh, in this Discord for free because I just enjoy trading. Like I just enjoy talking about it, teaching. I just love trading, you know. So I just did it, but I don't know how long it took. If you take my first day joining the server, probably a year I was in this server. Maybe a year it took me, I guess. I don't know, but technically not really because the Lens wasn't all around for a year, you know. It was pretty shortly after T joined the Lens. Pretty shortly after because I'm sure like he brought a ton of people in the Lens, so they needed more help, right? So that's probably why. a live stream? What are we doing a live stream of? Yeah, this is me. Joey. What's up, dude? Who's here? Oh, man. I mean, he's a great trader. JCap. Okay, dude. Here's the thing about JCap. Like, he's obviously a freaking millionaire from trading. So it's like, why would he sell a mentorship for like something that's not worth his time? So it's like, yeah, $7,500 is fucking insane. But obviously, you don't have to pay for that. It's like, uh, you know, he's basically put that's like worth his time. And if you pay it, you pay it. If you don't, you don't. I don't know. I don't really. It's fucking insane for sure. But do I think his educational content is worth $7,500? Fuck no. Hell no. Not even like fucking close. But that's what his time is worth to him. So, fuck it. I really don't think he does anything insanely complicated. He's just really good at what he does. He publicly has like a 35% win rate, 40% win rate. But that's all you need. When you scale, that's all you need, bro. And if people want to pay for that, then they can. You were coming up with your model. How'd you backtest it? Fucking hell, dude. You can ask Kiko, dude. I used to backtest like every day, dude. When I used to work, I used to backtest every day when I come back home from school. Or not school, what the fuck? Work. But I would do a lot of FX replay. But at the same time, before that, it's like when you're testing new things at least, you have to like go back in hindsight and like see that those things work out and then build a plan around that. And then you can backtest it. Backtesting is like with bar replay is really just to see things happen not in live time, but you know what I'm saying? Like not in hindsight. So you can start to recognize these things and anticipate stuff. That's what it helps with. But if you can't anticipate it, then you're gonna suck ass. So that's why you practice your anticipation skills via. You have to train your brain essentially with what you call it, hindsights first. So just do hindsight first, and just look for certain things, whatever the hell you're studying, be anything, and then you can use bar replay. That's how you can gather data is with I would not gather data in hindsight, bro. You're gonna get some very uh skewed data, bro. Like you're gonna get very skewed data unless your system is completely mechanical from the top down. Right? If there's any sort of discretion, yeah, you're cooked. I promise you're cooked because you're already getting the bias. Like you already see what happens. So your entry model, of course, is gonna have a high win rate because you see where price reverse, etc. But when you go and backtest, it's gonna be completely different. So like your backtested results and your live trading results, whether it's paper trade, those is what's gonna obviously be closest to your actual data and win rate, whatever the fuck. But yeah, if you do hindsight data, yeah, you're cooked, bro. I guarantee it. I tried doing that, and you just get a bunch of data that lies to you. Like I did that so many times in my supply and demand days. Oh, I got an 80% rate. No, you don't. No, you don't. Joey, teach us some sauce. Dude, he's chewing on my fucking blanket. This guy, man, Joey is something else, man. What are you doing, bro? Win face reveal. Why would I do that? I don't know, maybe. I feel like people reveal their face if they have like a brand or something, but I don't really have one, so like maybe if I don't know, dude. I don't know when I would. I don't really care. Like I'll do it, dude. I actually don't give a shit, honestly. How much is reasonable for you? Oh, are you talking about Jade Cap? Like what's a reasonable price for him? I don't know. It's not my course or not my content, so I have no fucking idea. I think that's like one-on-one mentorship though. So if you are obviously paying a one-on-one mentorship, it's gonna be way more than like a fucking community, you know? Because it's like more one-on-one stuff. So I think that was one-on-one mentorship at least. So it's gonna be way more. Yeah, exactly. Like most of the stuff is on the internet. It's just courses. It's more like put together stuff and more readily available and like structured a certain way, you know? So that's why a course is actually worth it in my opinion. Because what is $100, $200 for a course? That's not a lot, bro. You're learning a skill that's can obviously change your life, etc. People pay like they go in debt like what hundreds of K or whatever it is, 50K for college, whatever. But they won't invest. They think it's like a scam to invest in a course or something. It's kind of stupid. Kind of stupid logic, honestly. Now, who you invest your money into is a totally different thing. But an actual legit, course or something that's like it's worth it. Like definitely can excel your learning uh, curve or whatever. And we get a guy taking 35 trades at 8% rate. Pause. What game are you playing? You can't pause Clash Royale. What additional confluences would you add on to this? Retest of 1 hour, 4 hour order block / fair value gap 2. Chalk. Dude, I used to trade chalk. Market structure shift. Retest engulfing candle. Like this would be my current entry setup. I mean, maybe, yeah, that can work, but it's like, that's not actually what's important. Entry setup's not important at all, dude. It's like when and where you use it, you know? Like you need to start, a lot of people start by looking at entry models, but you need to do the opposite. You need to start looking at when and where to trade, understanding market conditions, etc. Like narrative, basically. That's what's way more important than that. But yeah, that can work, dude. Like for sure. The fuck? Do you think Justin Roiland's good? Sure. Nothing nothing outlandish though. He's a really smart guy. I know not why so nonchalant. Wait, about what? Yeah, $200 is nothing, bro. Like, but people bitch. I was in his first course, month 8. Oh, I see same deviations. Wait, which course? Whose course? Is that JCaps? What the fuck does happen? Yeah, I glazed you. Yo, dude, you're slaves though. I'm dead. For gold, do you look at metals calendar? Oh no, no, no. Look at USD red folder. You still need an editor for your video. Uh, Even your PDFs so you can buy back your time and deliver your teachings. Wait, what do you mean buy back your time? Let me know if you have. I don't know, man. Because I don't take YouTube, like, I don't have a schedule. It's just like whenever the fuck I feel like it, you know? And I don't really gain anything from posting YouTube necessarily. It's just like, I just do it, you know? More like a hobby. Yeah, like I said, I don't make any money from YouTube or from it really. So it's like, I'm probably not going to do it forever. So, I don't know. I was going to take it seriously, but probably not. I have no idea, dude. If I ever do take YouTube seriously, then yeah, I'll get an editor. It's not so sure. Yeah, Kika made 1 million. Kika was born with $1 million. Have you ever heard of using OBV indicator to confirm SMT? No, I don't know what that is. OBV? What's that? Probably ass, I'm not gonna lie. I'll do it for free. Just deflex this, man. Tickle. Creator. African mixed. Alright, now we're just fucking lying. PSST. Can you tell me to kill yourself too? Yeah, kill yourself. Kill yourself ASAP. KYS stands for keep yourself safe, guys. As soon as possible. So keep yourself safe as soon as possible. Make a prop firm and rug pull everyone. Dude, low key. Dude, no one knows what I look like, so that's a really good idea. There'd be like no consequence. How did like TGR do that and like no one gives a fuck? Is that wild? That's crazy to me. Dude, I'm not 5'7", what the fuck? I would fucking kill myself. He's only 5'7" though? What? Crazy. Oh yeah, I remember I used advanced market structure. Holy fucking cooked. It was decent though. Like anything worked. Anything worked. If you think about it, that's just trading away from like a protected swing. But if you switch to supply and demand, oh yeah, like if you just mark out my trade, let's just go to Friday's trade, like ES. I bet there's some demand zone or some shit. So the way I used to do demands, who remembers extreme demand zones, bro? It's like the lowest order block in the range. Technically, this is my trade, but you technically have to wait for a market structure shift. So it's like this supply to supply zone was like the cause for this market structure shift, and then you just enter this. Like it's probably anything could work, but pretty funny. Dude, I used to go for like 1 to 10 hour, like, no bullshit. I used to trade like I used to trade what is it called? EU on FTMO or something, or any prop firm like MFU. Fuck MFU, by the way. But I used to use like 1 pip stop losses, 2 pip stop losses, and try to go for like these high RR stuff. Bro, worst thing you could possibly do, because the spread and like the commissions, dude, the slippage. Oh my god, like what the fuck was I thinking, dude? MFU basically, they were doing some shady ass shit. Like they were messing with people's accounts and shit. So they got taken down. AC Wilson. Yeah, they refunded me too. My bank did though. It was not MFU necessarily. It was like my bank. Yeah, AC tripping, bro. Who said this? I do not know that guy, bro. Do not know that guy. That guy is always commenting on my post though. You can go look. He comments on my shit. I'm like, bro, I don't know you, dude. Like, I'll pull it up, bro. That guy's weird. Let's see. Gotta find what post. I can't fucking find it, bro. Yeah, I don't know that guy, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, sure. I'll come down right now. I was just checking something.
Kiko, let's fucking go, dude. Who wants to see a one-on-one Clash Royale right now? I'll pull the shit up. Hold on, let me share my screen, dude. Hold on. Let me put the sound on. Where you at, Kiko? Soup? Soup is live. For running. Oh my god. Bro, it's Evo everything. Hold on, what am I gonna use though? Low key, this is the goated deck right here. Why is there 6 people online? First person to accept it, get shit on. Alright. I'm actually kind of scared. Wait, why did the stream pause? Why am I lagging? Good. Bro, it's fucking lagging. Bro, you messed up the expo. What? They look so far away. Am I tweaking? Tweaking, bro. Oh, you piece of shit. You piece of shit. Okay, we're both using expo. Hmm. Oh, you greedy at. Did you like fat finger that, or are you just actually doing that? Get that shit out of here, boy. Get that out of here. Yeah, you're cooked. What do we got? Dude, I'm fucking lagging. Bro's not giving up right now. Alright, we're good. I just have to block for like a minute or 20 seconds. Let's go. All right, now I have dethroned Kane, Kiko. Was that laggy for you guys? That was so laggy for me. Was that laggy? I don't know why, bro. It's never done that. I don't know why that's so fucking laggy. Hold on. What deck do I use? We're gonna play again? Right. All right, we'll play again. All right, so this will be best of what? 5? First one 3? So it's 2-1 right now. Yeah, this is 100 racks right now. All right, hold on. Let me share my screen. Hopefully it's not laggy. That was fucking annoying. Oh, you dirty. What is up with this right now? We're all using the same decks. Oh, buddy, you just spent your log, dude. And you're late. Oh, no, you're not. You piece of shit. Oh, you're annoying, bro. We both are. All right, bro. This is interesting. This is that rocket deck, bro. You're not slick. This is actually probably not good for me. Try to miner that bitch. Oh, you're a piece of shit. I have to catch up now, dude. This is gonna be fucking hard. Now we're lagging again. Uh-oh, buddy. Damn. This fucking guy, bro. All right. Down a little bit. Down a little bit. I gotta think of something. Bro just rocketed skeletons. All right, can we check up on this guy? Fuck, that sucks, man. Are we getting some chip damage there? Oh, come on, get that connection. Oh, that's huge. That's absolutely huge, mate. Oh, you dirty. You dirty, dirty rat. Fuck, dude, I'm cooked, man. Guys, this is really bad. This is very, very, very bad. Hit the fucking tower. Wait, guys, he's fucking scared. Wait. Wait. No. Get it! No! No, dude. No way, dude. Bro. That was so fucking close. I know your balls are fucking sweating right now. 2-2, okay. Okay. Are we finishing this off right now? Or are we gonna save it for another day? No, it's 2-2. It's all good. No worries. I gotta whip out my secret deck now. Kiko can't hear me? Like, actually? What the fuck? What deck should I use, bro? Wait. Let me type then. Oh, we're running back tomorrow? Bet. Hey, yo. The fuck? Just tweaking. Alright. Anywho. Let's check some random markets. Like Forex, bro. Like odd. So like GBP odd type shit. And let's look at GBP NZD. Dude, I miss Forex low key. I'm not gonna lie. What's the correlated assets for this? Like odd. I would probably use this triad. It's a really good triad right here. Yo, what's his name in here? Kesson? He is. I know he trades Forex. Let me see something here, boys. Sixth. Let's go Euro odd. Nothing I see here. Let's go to daily, sorry. Wednesday. Nothing there. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go like this reversal. Oh, I was looking at this last night. What's the low here? Thursday, Tuesday. This is a two-stage SMT right here. Crack that Fortnite, my guy. Oh, and I remember there's something right here. There's a two-stage SMT there. This real quick. I want to see this retracement. About GBP entity. I don't know. Let me make this like this. This is confusing me. Oh yeah, check this out, boys. Another type of two-stage SMT. You have this crack and correlation, or it's really just this, really. And then you have this crack and correlation. Crazy. I'm trying to put y'all on, man. Really everywhere. Like any market, bro. It don't matter. It don't matter. See if there's any profile. Oh, okay. This type of markets you can trade in Asia, low-key, or like London. They're gonna be predominantly active probably then. Let's pull up the indicator and see where Asia and London is at. Fucking hell, not fractal. Ew, brother, get that off my screen ASAP. Alright. Yeah, like, here's Asia. You have a fractal one here. Let's do the 4-hour real quick. I just want to see. So yeah, fuse on model. 4-hour reversal into expansion candle. The high formed from a fractal model. Now, what kind of key levels do we after a true reversal? So this is a true reversal for the two-stage SMT reason. That's the reason why it's a true reversal, right? So the fair value gaps that form after a true reversal are the ones that should support price lower. Like these fair value gaps, for example. Ignore this disgusting green color. Whatever these are, right? Let's go to new 4-hour candle. No, there's nothing there. What about hourly candle? So you see like this. Holy fuck, my dogs are tripping, dude. So you see this hourly candle here? You can kind of view this as a retracement candle, right? Within that, right, you obviously have this 30-minute candle. It's retesting these gaps, so that's why it's more than likely going to be a retracement, because does it make sense to reverse here? No, right? So do you see this hourly candle, how it does not support expansion bearishly? It opened low first and then has a large opposing run to the upside. So a reversal off this high would be ideal. I don't know if it does that. If it doesn't do that, what about like on another asset? That would be ideal. No, it probably doesn't. Oh, it does. See? We have an SMT there, right? So that, again, is a form of two-stage SMT because, at least over here it is. Because remember this asset swept? Now it's creating a lower low. So you have an SMT here. So when I tell you this shit is everywhere, like, it's not a joke. You see how I could already anticipate a potential reversal here? It's not... Alright, bro. Chill out, bro. It's not only because of the SMTs and etc., but it's just candles in general. Like, a lot of people may think this is like a reversal or something to go here, but it's absolutely irrelevant, right? Does that make sense? So you're seeing it intraday as well, right here. And the trigger down here, right down here, was a two-stage SMT on the higher time frame. So every retracement, every reversal on the higher time frame, or even intraday, there's some crack and correlation. Now, a lot of people only know of one form of cracking correlation. That's between highs and lows, but there's actually many forms. And after this, if you look on the 4 hour here, after this true reversal, this two-stage S&P at the lows, look at the fair value gaps that form after. Like these should hold, right? And it's only after a two-stage cracking correlation, which they should hold, right? If you go to the hourly here, whatever is in here, maybe Asia lows, whatever, right? So yeah. I'm back. What the fuck? Juicy's funny. What the fuck? Bro, I can't even ban people anymore. Can we get some more examples? Sure. On what, like two-stage SMT? I'll only go over the examples that I've shown so far. So if we look at something like, when was this? 13th of March. 13th of March. Oh, never mind. I thought that was an SMT. No. What is this? 13th of March. No, that's 11. 13th. I don't think there's much here. Unless I see like kind of cleaning up on the weekly. Nope. No. Go to like the 4 hour here real quick. Get a bit ugly here. I know some people like me to split the screen, so I'll do it. I personally hate it. But okay, NZD's over here, cool already. So we can see if we can find any. Not much of a difference here. Maybe I was looking at a different asset. Was I looking at GBP? With the daily real quick. Oh, this is the same one. Whoops, I'm stupid. NCD. I must have been looking at GBP odd. Yeah. Oh no, there is no SMT there. There's no SMT there. I thought there was. There is between GBP though, NZD, I think. Yeah, for sure. Let's see this though. See if we can find anything here. Yep, I can already see it. So, see how there's an SMT here? We do not take this out. And then immediately following that, you get a two-stage SMT where we don't take this out, where we do take this out over here. So I'm not joking when I say every reversal in the market has this type of, not specifically this two-stage SMT, but a form of it. There's different types of it. It's truly insane. Like, it's pretty wild to see. But yeah, there's a couple different variations of it. These are some pretty good examples of some stuff that I went over in my YouTube video that you can learn for literally free. And you won't learn this anywhere else. Yeah, you just need to start requiring SMT. Truly insane, brother. There's SMT right here. Now, what asset is this? This is GP odd, so you could really go to Euro odd as well. There's gotta be like previous week's low. No. Oh, wait. Okay, that's a double. Not ideal. Maybe not switch strength here. No. What about NZD? Euro NZD. Let's check that real quick. Let's go to daily here. Yeah, check this out. Oh, we already went over this. Maybe not. I'm not sure, but remember we saw this crack correlation on one of the assets. On this one, we take up this low. Over here, we do not. See right here. These are some good examples of this form of two-stage, but it's not always going to look like that, like I said. But those are some pretty decent examples for sure. For sure ski. Here's an example right here. I'm probably gonna hop off after this, guys, but here's just one other example. Like I said, many forms of seeing strength switching, but here, this asset's stronger, right? Because why? You can just see with the closures, right? Obviously, if a candle closes bullish, it's stronger, right? But in the distribution away from this, what are you seeing on the stronger asset? We're then creating lower lows. Over here, we're creating higher highs. Does that make sense? Where another way you can view strength is this asset pretty much damn near closed below this fair value gap, where this one did not. It did even close below 50%, but then it's putting a lower low in. Does that make sense? But yeah, this shit gets deep and it's very good. And you can fractalize this. That's why it's so good. Obviously, we know the market's fractal, so I can do this every day to form high and lows a day and stuff like that. It's like, it's fucking insane. This still like blows my mind. You like it deep. What the fuck? If you know, you know. That's funny. On a normal trading day, do you compare this many assets? Yeah, I'm always looking. So if I want to trade indices, for example, I'm really going to, any market that I trade, I'm going to be referring to a triad. It's just three markets correlated within an asset class. So for like gold, for like metals, these are the three correlated markets. For indices, these are the three correlated markets that I'm really looking at. Now, if I just want to trade R2Y, I'm going to refer to YM. But yeah. I'm really struggling with choosing the right asset. And there is a 2 SMT with strength switching. How can I build? Well, if you actually go look when there's a strength switch, what do we notice when there's a strength switch? Which market actually expands? Well, both of them do. That's why strength switch is important. So there's always going to be one asset that's generally going to expand further, but they're both going to expand, you know? So it doesn't really matter generally, but it's pretty nuanced. It's very specific to where like, I have to show you like, there's just a bunch of different situations where like I can't give you one solid answer. There's no like, it's always going to be this asset, for example. That's not the case, you know? So I can't really give you an answer. New asset for you, Garrett. DAX futures 3 a.m. in the 9:30 London. Wait, what? What is that for you? DAX futures 3 a.m. is the 9th. Oh, really? I don't trade London though. But if I did, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, if you're trying to short, the one that takes at the high is stronger. So if you haven't seen my video, on SMT, just watch it. Like the silver trade, currently weak. I chose gold to trade. Didn't get the expansion. Yeah, that's because it's catching up, you know. So that's totally different than that's not necessarily a reversal because this is a lagging asset. So that's what I mean by it's a little different. Like this is a fake SMT essentially when you see that. Remember that we were weaker on this asset because we're creating a lower low, but the next day, because this day right here, created the SMT essentially, right? Or then this day retraced. But what we're seeing is that this asset, right, created the deepest retracement, which is what you would want to see if you want this to be a reversal retracement. You want this to momentarily switch to the weaker asset. Now, all right, dude, this is getting way too loud, but I'm probably gonna hop off pretty soon. But what you're seeing is a strength switch. There's a couple ways you can measure that. With the previous day, by the way, closure, you see how it fails to even mitigate even 50% of this fair value gap, or this asset mitigate the whole fair value gap. This asset put in a higher high here when it was doing what? It was originally weaker, right? So that's how you know this SMT is likely going to be fake. And this is where you can anticipate the next day to be obviously stronger, right? And that's what you want to see for a lagging asset, an SMT that's going to break. I had this in my video. This is exactly how you want it to look. If I go on just this example for, yeah, this is just this example, right? Where like we create an SMT that's high, how you know it's fake. Remember, we're paying attention to how the asset that sweeps, you know, what kind of signature and price does it put in, right? Because we want this asset to reverse. Obviously, if this asset's going to hold, then this asset has to reverse. And ideally, it switches strength to the weakest asset, right? But it doesn't do that. It doesn't reverse. You see that? So what does that mean? That this SMT that you see here is fake. Now, what are some ways that we can anticipate this asset to catch up? Is when it switches to the stronger asset. So this trade that I took here, I took this day right here, is because we had this strength and switch SMT. Does that make sense? Because it was weaker, but now it's switching stronger to catch up. Does that make sense? You also see that intraday. I'm telling you it's on all time frames. So here's your first stage SMT. Here's your second stage SMT. You see that? It's literally everywhere. Even in this distribution, you see a former strength switch as well, which is what I traded. Do you prefer indices? Yeah, I definitely do. Indices because you have 930 every single day. Yeah, it's just the best. The most volatile, no spreads, no fees, or very little. Definitely the best. But I trade oil and gold as well. Like the silver trade current week. I should. Oh, never mind. I already went over that. What's your frequency right now? Like my frequency of trades? Damn near trade like every day. Not every day, but damn near. Last week I traded every day. There is a condition where price again takes out internal liquidity instead of going to. Not sure what you mean by that. Oftentimes I between think weekly and daily. Yeah, like there's a specific sequence for everything that I already like have and know, but I haven't taught it, and I also don't have it on like a fucking. I don't have like slides on it or anything like that. So when I put it into some form of that, like maybe I'll teach it. I'm not really sure though. Probably not. I'm not gonna lie. What the hell? Whenever I try to see daily liquidity sweep, I just find myself liquidating myself. That could be a lot of problems, so I don't know what specifically it is, you know? Can I go through gold and silver Friday? Yeah. we already went over like why you can anticipate. We went over this kind of in the early in the stream kind of, but we just kind of did where like this asset intraday is showing strength, so that's how you know that's just trying to catch up this high. Now ideally you want to trade this asset because it's stronger, but it's like when I come into New York session, like what the fuck is there to trade? There's not much. It's already expanded. So I'm gonna trade the lagging asset, right? When you're trading a lagging asset, you don't know. It's kind of unlikely it's gonna get all the way up here, but I know it can get up here to this high at least, which I can get 2R out of this. So you have an SMT here at these lows. So this should be a low of day, right? This SMT. There's a 2-stage SMT here as well. When I go to the 4-hour candle, I also cover this as well. So this is creating a new low of the day right here. So if you look at the current low of day before we created this SMT, we're just 1800, so it's not very relevant, right? So we manipulate. This is like the delayed protraction profile that FES teaches. We're at open side first. We come lower, but we just come lower to create a new daily wick, right? And then I'm trading this candle here. Why? Because this candle here is forming the low of day. The low of the 4-hour candle is formed from manipulation in an SMT, so it's protected essentially. Remember when I told you guys about trading a reversal candle in the beginning of the stream? You mark out from the reversal low to the opening price. You want to be involved here, right? In this area. So if the new candle opens up, you're well positioned, right? So this is why I enter just on this first CSD. Like this. Whoops. And you can push stop loss down here, wherever the fuck. Whoops. Really, it's right here though, ideally. Around here, so you can get at least kind of 2R to this high, right? That's ideally where you want to put your stop loss. And it's going to bullshit. Like you can already anticipate this price kind of bullshitting because where's the candle open? 6 o'clock is way over here, bro. You see how we opened low first? That's another way. If you want to trade a reversal candle, you need to open low first, ideally. So it opens low first, but you see how we attempt to expand through it at 8:40? There's still an hour and 20 minutes left in this candle. It's not going to do this. It's not going to expand with that large wick. So it can make sense to have this sort of like time distortion where it's just waiting for 10 o'clock to open. It's very interesting. So you see price is waiting for what? 10 a.m. and then it expands. So you're going to see that. So it's fine if you see price bullshitting. That's fine. The real protected low is, remember, it's this down here. So you see right at 10, really random, right? It's very funny. Right at 10 o'clock, we expand. Pretty cool, to be honest. So that was my trade. And then you kind of see some strength switching where these assets took out this high. And what is it doing? It's consolidating for this asset to do what? Expand to catch up to this high that got taken out. Does that make sense? There's not enough time in the day to get there. So it's literally everywhere. And remember we had a 2-stage SMT in the daily fair value gap. So you can already anticipate that since it was formed yesterday, you don't want the pre-stage low to get taken out because it's protected, you know? So that's why you see it gets it stays open, right? Where it doesn't get taken out, the pre-stage low. Do you have an RR you stick to? No, I don't. Not a strict RR, no, definitely not. But for like Apex, for example, I go for a pretty low R, so around 1 to like 1.5, just because of the rules. Like I am not fucking around with Apex, bro. Like I literally just stick to just very the same thing. Like I try to do same contracts, same RR, etc. So I don't get denied. So I already got to pay out, and I just started trading with them, so that worked out for me. So I'm not going to change anything because you don't need to be greedy on Apex. Like 20 accounts, dude, at 1R. Dude, I have 150k accounts. Times that by 20, I'm risking 1k a trade. That's 20k a trade, you know, for 1R. Like I don't need more than that. There's no point. You know what I'm saying? So, but for like Top Step or MFU, where there's no consistency rules, then I can shoot for the moon. I can go for whatever, you know. There's no limit to that, you know. So it's a bit different. You know, my RR is never It's never strict or anything like that. When you get experience, it's very hindering. Like for an A plus trade, for example, let's go over like this example or some shit on just like an expansion day, for example. Or let's go to my gold trade this week. It would be very um kind of just like a waste of a trade, almost like it's when you have a super A plus trade like this, for example. So I took this trade. It's like, why would you take 2R right here? That doesn't make any sense. When you have the framework and whatnot to support some like larger trade. You know what I'm saying? It's like this one. Like everything is aligned bullish. It's very clean, right? So like taking 2R off right here, you're really limiting yourself, you know? Where like you could target these highs or these highs or these highs. I targeted this one personally, this one right here, for like 6.5. Um, you get it. Whereas like maybe I'm trading reversal day, so like my Friday trade, it doesn't call for it. You know, it doesn't call for a large R trade. Where this one does. Everything is supporting a huge move, or like a move to a higher time from target. Whereas like if I'm trading a reversal day, I have to adjust my targets because obviously this type of day doesn't support an expansion move, so you have to adjust to that. So I adjust my RR and my risk management to whatever type of day I'm trading, whatever type of framework is there, you know what I'm saying? I think when you get experience, like you should start doing that. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna bounce. Catch y'all later.